Cubs Spring Training is presented by Circus Sports Illinois. Today's ball game, Cubs and Royals. It is the 12th installment of the spring thing, and fans, they have come from far and wide to Surprise Stadium, 46.5 miles from Sloan Park, an hour and 17 minutes if you count traffic. I'm Cole Wright, alongside the 9-year Major League veteran Sean Marshall, a.k.a. Big Smooth, and Marsh taking a look at the lineup, as we will do in just a second. This is a trip that's designated for the youngsters and the up-and-comers.
Yeah, the up-and-comers. We talk about what's going to put together the next great Cubs team. We will see him featured in the lineup tonight for the Chicago Cubs. You see some of the big dog prospects: Michael Busch, Alexander Canario, Matt Shaw, PCA, Kevin Alcantara, to name a few. Luis Vasquez rounds out the lineup, but you're talking about pieces of the future, and these are them.
Absolutely, and there's a few other guys who are looking to get their 2 cents in this ball game as well. Moises Ballesteros, he gets after it. Jefferson Rojas, just to name a few. Ezequiel Pagan, he's looking to make a splash in right field when his name is called.
Yes, no doubt. And you look at the big left-handed bats of the backups, say Matt Mervis. You look at Owen Casey. Owen Casey's having a spectacular spring training so far, but that's the depth of the Cubs farm system, and that's going to put together that next great Cubs team.
All right, well, coming up right here on the broadcast, that is today's starter, Caleb Killian. He's throwing absolute bullets. We'll talk more about him, plus Elise is going to tell us more about Cody Bellinger and the injury bug. Cubs and Royals right around the corner.
Feeling bullied by your bank?
Chicago Cubs baseball on Marquee Sports Network is brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield. Through it all. By Ford. Visit your local Ford dealer today. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards.
Back here in Surprise, Arizona, where I have some newsy nuggets for you. And to start, you're going to have to mark your calendars, because we know that Cody Bellinger, he is DHing in tomorrow's game, and he is expected to play the field on Friday. So I know we'll all be watching that, his spring debut coming up tomorrow at DH. Jamison Tyone, we could be seeing him soon as well. He threw a sim game yesterday, and he's expected to pitch as early as this weekend. Now, Nick Madrigal, he left yesterday's game with a right leg cramp. We caught up with the birthday boy very quickly earlier today. He just said he's doing okay right now, so we'll try to get a more official update in the coming days. And Patrick Wisdom, he's rehabbing slower than expected. He did hit in a sim game today, and among his hits, he had a Bomsky and an RBI double against Drew Smiley, but he's not running those out because he says right now running is causing that right quad the most trouble, so he's building up to that, but he does think that he'll be ready for opening day. So, of course, we'll always keep you updated on top of these things, but for now, Cole, Sean, we have a game to be on top of. Cubs, Royals, get us started.
We haven't even seen first pitch. We've already got a Bomsky reference and some new. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking. And Marsh, it all gets started right off the top. Miles Mastroboni looking to make an impact. And then it's Garrett Cooper, Michael Busch, Alexander Canario, and you see all the rest of the suspects.
Yeah, prospects, not suspects.
Absolutely.
See Matt Shaw, Pete Kerr-Armstrong, Kevin Alcantara, and Luis Vasquez rounds that lineup out.
Absolutely. And the starting pitcher for the Royals is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. And of course, tonight taking a look at Brady Singer last season. His walk rate, one thing he is good at is minimizing the free passes.
Yeah, he will challenge. And he said that he's working on a couple new pitches this spring, adding a sweeper, adding a sinker to complement and a four-seamer as well. So, yeah, he's a 5-year veteran, working on the pitch mix, looking to develop a couple different looks. He's been around. He's an innings eater. He's going to be in that rotation for the Kansas City Royals.
And his first pitch of the ball game, a little outside for ball one. Miles Mastroboni, as we talked about, offset before the game started. This is a guy looking to make and take advantage of every single opportunity presented.
Yes, no doubt. And with the mild hamstring strain by Ian Happ, this opens up a possible roster spot for him at the end of spring training to make this team. But he's done everything right so far for Craig Counsell. He adds terrific defensive utility. He can be put in any position, infield, outfield, and he's done a nice job at all those.
See a little pitch stealing right there. First called strike to Miles Mastroboni. Runs the count to 2-1. Still top of the first. If you're just joining us here, Cubs and Royals mixing things up. Puts that ball in play. Rolls one to second, and Singer pays attention during pitcher's fielding practice.
Yeah, a lot of PFPs in spring training. Get over when that ball sits at the right side.
Yeah, and this defensive setup for the Royals is brought to you by Northwestern Medicine. Let's take a look at this right here and see how it's all going to shake out. The Cubs trying to find some outfield grass in between John Rave, Drew Waters, Tyler Gentry. On the dirt, it's Michael Garcia, Bobby Witt, Adam Frazier, and Vinny Pasquantino. They call him the Pasquatch, and behind the dish, it's Austin Nola handling those duties for the Royals. So taking a look right here, it's Garrett Cooper. Cooper, this guy can swing it just a little bit, Marsh.
Yeah, he's been around the league a while. First came in, had a big impact in the Miami Marlins. We saw him in the wild card game versus the Cubs in 2020. He's a formidable bat. He's 6'6", 250, easy pop when he squares it up.
Yeah, currently a non-roster invitee for this 2024 iteration of the Chicago Cubs. It's 1-1 count right there to Cooper. Cooper, Torrance, California native, Marshy, so you know some of this warm weather, he's feeling great about it.
Yeah, this is California type weather,
That
74 degrees, crystal clear skies out in sunny Surprise, Arizona.
Pitch from Cooper right there, called strike. 1-2 count, 1 out. Singer still under 10 pitches to get this game off the runway. That ball absolutely squared up, and talked about grabbing some outfield grass. That's exactly what that does. That's going to go in the books as a base knock for Cooper.
Yeah, that's a really nice swing by Cooper, staying back. That breaking ball just kind of hung up. We talked about what Brady Singer's working on. He's working on a little sweeper, a little off-speed pitch, but that one hung up. You know, if you're pitching, you want to bury that thing, sweep it off the plate, but it hangs up nice for Garrett Cooper. He stays back, doesn't try to do too much. Delivers a nice hard hit single in the center field.
Yeah, Marshy, like you said, trying to work on different things. That's what pitchers do in spring training. Sometimes they go out there and say, you know what, I'm going to work 2 pitches. Even if they have a 4-pitch mix, sometimes they're going fastball and changeup their whole outing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you want to hone in your skills, especially early in spring training. You know, you probably have 3 or 4 innings to work on these things, so it's early, and Brady's working on those pitches.
Yeah, you see right here Michael Busch. He's a guy who came to the Chicago Cubs in that Jackson Ferris and Zaire Hope deal, along with Yency Almonte from the Los Angeles Dodgers. And, well, Michael Busch, he's a guy who's trying to make a name for himself. He was involved in somewhat of a log jam out west with the Dodgers, Marsh.
Yeah, absolutely.
This one right here could be trouble. They go and get the lead runner at second. That brings about 2 outs, so a fielder's choice for Michael Busch. And that's going to bring about Alexander Canario with 2 in the mud, Marsh.
Yeah. You talk about the log jam at first base. Michael Busch was behind one of the game's very best in Freddie Freeman at first base. So you don't see that position opening up anytime soon. Freddie is an amazing player. So Michael Busch comes over here to the Cubs and very well can make that opening day roster.
Absolutely. And here's a cat right here looking to make the opening day roster for Craig Counsell and company. Alexander Canario, the upside to the moon, Marsh.
Big. Yeah, I mean, he's a specimen of an athlete. Tremendous power when he squares it up. Just got underneath that one.
Yeah, just missed that one. Can of corn. So just like that, the Cubs in the books. Top half of the first, it's over with. We're coming back. The Royals getting ready to swing away. Stadium, still a scoreless affair between the Cubs and the Royals, and let's get defensive. This Royals lineup brought to you by Ford. You see right here, this is what you're looking for. Michael Garcia, Bobby Witt, Vinny Pasquantino, Nelson Velasquez, familiar face, former Chicago Cub. We saw him a season ago during the spring, hit a walk-off pop versus San Francisco. Then Adam Frazier, Austin Nola, Drew Waters, Tyler Gentry, and John Rave rounding things out. Caleb Killian looking to be effective today, Marsh.
Yeah, no doubt. He's making his first start of spring training, has 2 appearances so far. I thought he looked really good versus Milwaukee. The fastball had the life, the breaking ball, dabbled with a little changeup, but I think it's going to be a very important pitch for him this year if he wants to continue to have some success.
And one pitch that will be important is the pure gas. And the starting pitcher for your Cubs is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. He's not necessarily a strikeout pitcher just quite yet, but with some of his swing and miss stuff that he's put on full display so far this spring, Marshy, it could be in the making.
Absolutely. And it's about commanding all of his pitches. We saw it his last appearance versus Milwaukee. He was able to land the curveball early in the counts, which slows the hitter down, making his 97 to 100 mile an hour fastball that much faster. But he has to be on the attack. As you see, a limited sample size last year, 5 1/3 innings pitch, about a 17 ERA. He struggled just a little bit, but the stuff is there. If he attacks and strikes like he did with that sinker right there, we'll get ground balls with contact, just like that.
Looking to keep away from that right there. That's Luis Vasquez, play that he would love to have back. But either way, one thing that Caleb Killian is looking to minimize, hard hit rate, over 63% a season ago. And when balls are put in play like that, sometimes miscues happen, just like we saw from Vasquez.
Yeah, and that's not what you want as a pitcher.
No,
He's had the leadoff guy on first base, so he'll pitch out of the stretch. But again, Luis Vasquez just trying to make the play before he catches the ball first. A tough play, but puts Caleb Killian in the stretch here and hopefully get another ground ball.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Wore that right off the side of the mug, and that's going to bring up Bobby Witt Jr. No real relief here from 1 to 2. Witt Jr., one of the biggest stars in the game when it comes to those up-and-comers, Marsh.
Yeah, the face of the franchise.
Yes,
I mean,
he is.
This guy is a generational talent, really. He's so good. Speed, defense, pop. He's a total package, and that's why the Royals locked him up long term.
No doubt about it. 0-1 count, runner on first, bottom of the first, no outs for Kansas City.
That's a good spot.
And there's that fastball you spoke of, Marsh. He's climbing the ladder when it comes to velocity. We've seen him hit close to 100 miles an hour so far this spring.
Yeah, and that's a sinker. You know, when he bores that ball into the righties, that's a great location. The ball's running, it's carrying in, it's got velocity, and that sets up pitches on the outside part of the plate if you can command that, especially early in the ball game.
Caleb Killian looking to get Bobby Witt Jr. to chase, trying to test those outside waters right there. And Bobby Witt Jr., well, he's a Homewood Bats guy. Homewood Bats, of course, right around the corner from here, Homewood Flossmoor. If you're familiar with that neck of the woods, you should be familiar with Homewood Bats. But I don't think he needs any extra bats or anything because he has plenty of scratch as it currently stands, especially with the deal that he recently put pen to paper on.
Yeah, he's he's going to be fine going forward.
He's all right. He's comfortable. Let's say that.
But, you know, they're investing in the future here. The Royals have kind of turned the page from a really tough season last year. They decided to lock up Bobby Witt, who is the face of the franchise, bring in some other key players to complement him. They have winning in their future, and he's going to be a big part of it.
That one sprayed to Matt Shaw at third. The double play gets started, and unfortunately not able to reel that one in. So just one out right now. Caleb Killian looking to maneuver his way through these Kansas City waters as it currently stands. And there's going to be some other guys that are coming out of the bullpen. Ben Brown, he could be the first cat we see get out there and get loose. Craig Counsell, he knows that Ben Brown, if he's able to tap into all the potential that he possesses, it's going to be scary for the opposition.
Big frame guy, powerful right-handed pitcher. The advantage of spring training is you get to see who is available in that bullpen, and most likely you will see almost every single one of those guys tonight.
Vinny Pasquantino up the middle, double play, and just like that, it's a pitcher's best friend. Bottom of the first, still no score. Royals and Cubs locked up in surprise. We're back in a flash.
This
Sean Marshall, Cole right back with you here. Cubs and Royals from Surprise, Arizona. And there's Matt Shaw leading off the top of the second. And he's just one of the many prospects right now at the disposal of Craig Counsell and the Cubs organization, Marshy.
Yeah, absolutely. And Matt Shaw skyrocketed through the Cubs organization. Several stops, performed excellent at every single level. Ended up at Double-A, posted up big numbers there. But this is a lot like tonight's lineup. We see some of the Cubs' future.
Yeah, six of the guys that we saw listed with potential of getting in the game, if not already in the starting lineup this evening.
Yeah, no doubt. And Matt Shaw likely be the third baseman in the future.
Sure.
Maybe not quite yet. Maybe a little bit more seasoning at Double-A or Triple-A. But he is a good player, solid, many tools, has all the weapons to perform at the big league level. But it's about executing and seeing major league pitcher like Brady Singer.
Matt Shaw, batsman, rips one to short. Just like that, Bobby Witt Jr. flings it to first. That's the first out of the top of the second.
Yeah, nice little sinker right there by Singer, jamming Matt Shaw. We've seen both starting pitchers feature nice sinkers running into right-handed hitters, getting some weak contact, and that was just another one of them.
Absolutely. That brings about Pete Crow Armstrong. You know him in the streets as PCA Electric. Still right now looking to channel some of that electricity into his bat, Marsh.
Yeah, and he can swing it, but it's about staying disciplined. You know, he's facing a major league pitcher here, Brady Singer, who's pitched for 5 years in the big leagues, and about laying off pitches like that he can't handle. So it's all about getting repetitions against solid pitching for PCA, but the future is bright, just like all the other guys we've talked about on the broadcast so far. PCA defensively, his contact levels are great. but it's just about getting repetitions at the big league level.
Yeah, you saw him swing and miss at that down and in. Saw him lay off of that pitch right there, and that elevated fastball is something that he's learning to lay off of as he matures in the game.
Yeah, no doubt. But again, that little back foot slider set him up. Singer throws that fastball at the top of the zone, and then kind of spins, kind of tunnels that breaking ball back foot to a PCA right there. That's a good pitch. It's in and out of the strike zone, strike to ball.
Once again, like you alluded to, Singer clearly a 5-year professional, so no shame in PCA going down on that swing and miss. Kevin Alcantara, the Jaguar. This guy is another cat with tons of upside, and I know this isn't the futures game necessarily, but the future for a lot of these guys, 1 through 9, it is very bright, Marsh.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And talk about, you know, guys 6'6".
Come on,
tremendous leverage on the baseball. He runs like a Jaguar. That's his nickname. A lot of tools here from Kevin.
Kevin Alcantara not satisfied with that swing and miss right there. Brady Singer, 22 pitches into his outing, runs the count to 0-2. So deuce is wild. 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the second inning, Marsh. That one outside, tried to get him to chase, tried to induce a little swing and miss, but the Jaguar having none of that. How you feel about the Jaguars' kicks? Going with the Jordan 1 highs.
Those are
pretty.
They're a lot like
nifty.
the ones that you have on.
I don't have those. Need to get in touch with Kevin Alcantara's guy, but either way, looking spiffy. Want to get that pitch back right there. Still a scoreless affair. Royals and Cubs from Surprise. We're back after this.
Nice to meet you.
Fans, single game tickets, they're currently on sale. Don't miss a second of the action, the matchups, as well as the magic. You have to see it, so pay a visit to Cubs.com/tickets to make it all happen. And today, well, the Dogs, they're making it happen. It's Pups at the Park, and Caleb Killian, he's looking to be a dog this afternoon, or this evening rather, out there on the hill. First offering to Nelson Velasquez, shot to right field.
Yeah, Caleb Killian that first inning, commanding the ball on the inside part of the plate. Opened up the away part of the plate and got the weak contact. We had the mishandle, the leadoff hitter, Vasquez, but he pitched right out of the jam, getting a couple more ground balls. 3 ground ball outs in that first inning.
And this is a guy that Caleb Killian may be very familiar with. I'm sure they shared a little bit of time in the minors together. And Nelson Velasquez, we've seen what he's able to do, and looks like he was no stranger to the weight room in the offseason.
Yeah, he is big. He's always been big, and we recovered him over the last couple of years here on Cubs pregame and postgame live. I mean, this guy, he's a freak of an athlete. The ball comes off his bat hard, just like this ball to the right fielder.
Hard contact right there. Alexander Canario, however, reels it in, and that's the first out in the bottom of the second inning. Caleb Killian, let's get to know him right there. Flower Mound, Texas native, went to Flower Mound High School, and he was a Texas Tech Red Raider once upon a time. And as you may recall, he and Alexander Canario, they came over to the Cubs in that deal that sent Chris Bryant out west to the San Francisco Giants. Mark.
Yeah.
Adam Frazier digs in. Swing and miss at the first offering from Killian.
And a familiar face in the NL Central, Adam Frazier. Long time Bucko Pirates.
Absolutely.
He could swing it. Usually goes with the pitch. That's a good spot right there.
See Killian not afraid to go inside in that kitchen on Adam Frazier. Frazier clearly a professional hitter, but Killian, it seems as if something was worked on this offseason. Now I know that's pretty much a blanket statement. However, Killian, you've seen him work on that velocity and that pitch command that we haven't seen in years past.
Yeah, and so far so good. You know, there's the expand breaking ball, back foot, didn't get Adam Frazier to chase, but yeah, it's just about commanding the ball. We saw him come up last year. I thought the game sped up just a little bit. He was missing up in the strike zone, falling behind hitters, but so far in this appearance versus the Royals tonight, he's on the attack. He's established the inside part of the plate, getting through his pitches with a nice finish, and so far execution has been pretty solid going.
1-2 count right now to Frazier. Bottom of the second, one out. If you're just joining us, Cole Wright, Sean Marshall here on the call. Royals and Cubs from Surprise Stadium in Surprise, Arizona. 46.5 miles away from Sloan Park in Mesa. And that ball drilled to center. PCA drifting back, and you couldn't really tell if it was going to stay in the yard or if it was going to leave, because PCA, he makes things look really easy out there in the big field, Marsh.
Just kind of floated over that one, but you know, good pitch execution as we go back to Caleb killing that fastball down right there. It was off the barrel. It was in a good spot. It wasn't down and in. It was kind of down and away, and just he had a good swing at it, but he just missed it.
Austin Nola, next stick for Kansas City. Bottom two outs.
There you go.
Yeah, that's a good pitch.
And if Caleb's really going to turn the page, landing breaking balls like this, you know, not trying to do too much for it. Great frame right there at the bottom of the zone, but getting ahead of the batters with off speed just makes it the fastball even better.
If you can start a guy off with a pitch like that, he's absolutely cooked mentally. He's thinking, okay, this guy's 97 to 99 with the fastball, and he starts you out first pitch hammer low and away. You don't know what's coming next.
Yeah, absolutely. You got a nice sinker in on the hands.
There it is. Matt Shaw gobbles that one up.
Beautiful.
Shoots across the first, and the second inning, it is a thing of the past. Still a scoreless affair. Marsh and I, we're back right after this.
Top three, still nothing between Cubs and Royals. Now, earlier in the first inning, we saw a player like Luis Vasquez. He had a miscue at shortstop. Now, why does Craig Counsell like something like that right now in spring? Because he wants his players to make mistakes. Like when you have a young player like Vasquez in, he says, I want the ball to go to them, because that's the point. They want them to get these reps and to see things that they don't get to ordinarily see. He says this is the trial and error period. So this is where you can try things out, because he says if you just kind of go through the flow of the game and you don't work on things, maybe things you were working on in the offseason that you want to work on in a game, you're not really going to progress as a player. We've seen Caleb Killian. He's probably working on stuff, right? And that's what Counsell wants. But also there's those moments where you've got to be that competitor. I remember the other day he said about Shota Imanaga, he had a pitch clock violation. He said he loved it because he said he has to go through that to learn, and he'll adjust because now is the time for all of that. So that's very much like spring training, especially when we have younger players out here, guys. This is the time, right? You just got to see everything and be the player that you can be, even though there might be, you know, some pressure or nerves along the way.
Thanks, Felice. And Joe Hudson, the former Notre Dame Fighting Irish backstop, learning how to take one high and tight off the shoulder. That's going to put him on first base, and that's going to bring up Luis Vasquez as the second batter this inning, Marsh.
Yeah, we talk about the mistake. Luis Vasquez had the first play of the game, and now he gets a chance to kind of come up, make an impact with his bat, have a good at-bat. We'll see what he can do.
And for all those youngsters out there, you make a mistake early in the ball game, you have to have a short memory. Move along, because there are still plenty of contests left to go. He still has his first at bat, and who knows how many more opportunities out in the field.
Yeah, baseball is a funny game, how it gives you a chance to totally redeem yourself.
It's like Lloyd and Harry on a trip to Aspen, Colorado.
Yes.
Trading in the shaggin' wagon for that little moped that they rode on. All you Dumb and Dumber fans out there, you 100% just got that reference. 2-1 count here to Vasquez. That ball in on the hands. Did a nice job of fighting that thing off, Marsh.
Yeah, both guys, like I said, last inning, commanding the sinker. The ball's moving a lot. Arm side run. We've seen both Brady Singer and Caleb Killian doing a really nice job of commanding it on the inside part of the plate.
And that's what it's all about, whether it's Caleb Killian or Brady Singer going out there and making sure that you can throw the ball to all four quadrants. And right there, that one sails just a little bit high, bringing the count to full for Luis Vasquez.
Yeah, showing some pretty good discipline. Laid off that one slider down away. Didn't chase the ball up in the zone. Give himself probably a strike right here.
That one chopped on a little high in the zone. And Cubs fans, sign up right now for the Marquee Sports Network app and receive free spring training baseball by using the promo code SPRINGTRAINING24 at watchmarquee.com. Sign up right now for free Cubs baseball. If free Cubs baseball isn't your thing, then you may be in the wrong place, because it doesn't get a whole bunch better than that. So taking a look at Joe Hudson, he was on first base after being hit by a pitch. Luis Vasquez goes down swinging. That brings Miles Mastroboni, the second at bat of the game, once again looking to make an impact, Marsh.
Yeah, no doubt. We talked about Ian Happ and the hamstring strain, which opens up a spot on that Cubs roster if he ends up on the IL. But Mastroboni's done a nice job, specifically in September. You know, he had a rough go of it probably the first half of the season as far as batting average. We really had a nice September.
Absolutely. That ball fly to left. John Rave reels it in. Second out of the inning. Right now the Cubs still looking to get something going in the early goings of this contest. Brings up Garrett Cooper. Saw him with a base knock in his first at bat. Hit the ball hard, right up the middle, and that's essentially all you can ask for, especially the guy Garrett Cooper who's fighting for a roster spot.
Yeah, no doubt. And he stayed back on that 1-2, kind of hanging curveball. Didn't try to do too much, but again, the Cubs going out, signing Garrett Cooper to a minor league deal, kind of reinforcing that first base position in case something happens. Just a proven veteran, been in the lineup many years, posts up good numbers on multiple years, so he's going to give you a solid at-bat every single time he gets in the batter's box.
Professional hitter, made his spring debut versus the Padres on Monday a season ago. 123 games, 17 home runs, so he's no stranger to that little extra pop when he's in the batter's box. And that one right there hit well. Oof. Adam Frazier reels it in. Final out of the inning. Still no score. Cubs and Royals, come on back, won't you?
Get a fresh coat.
Time now for our Prevagen memorable moment. We take you back to June 4th, 2022, when Caleb Killian made his MLB debut at Wrigley Field against the Cardinals, and it did not disappoint. Killian tossed 5 innings, allowing 3 hits, 3 earned runs while striking out 6. Killian said, quote, "Best day of my life to be able to debut at Wrigley Saturday night against the Cardinals, and it starts raining, tied game in the 9th. I couldn't ask for anything better." And here's a fun little side nugget. So he actually found out on his 25th birthday that he was getting the call up to the big leagues, but couldn't tell anybody for a couple of days. I mean, I don't know how you keep that secret, guys. I'm for sure telling someone like my mom or something like that. On your birthday, nonetheless.
At least he didn't want to tell anybody because he didn't want the news to get out. He was making it a surprise for me because that was my birthday, June 4th, 2022, and it is every other year after that as well. And sit in front row, this offering to Drew Waters, shot foul right there. But Caleb Killian, yeah, looking to build upon what he was able to do in that first Major League start, Marsh.
Yeah, so far so good tonight, Cole. I mean, he's had terrific command of all of his pitches. He's been challenging hitters. He hasn't fell behind really anybody tonight. He got 2-1 count here to Waters, but he seems to have been making the pitch when he needs to.
Absolutely, and that runs the pitch count to 25 on the evening. 2-2 count here in the bottom of the 3rd. Drew Waters in the batter's box playing center field for this Kansas City Royals squad this evening, and it's all about efficiency. You're taking a look at the pitch count, still under 30 pitches. That's right around where you want to be if you're a starter, but still yet to be determined whether Caleb Killian will be a starter, a reliever, or will he hold down the back end of that bullpen.
Yeah, I mean, he has starter stuff. There's no doubt about it, but whether he'll be most useful as a middle reliever or high leverage type guy, we will find out. But you know, the starter makeup with the 5-pitch mix going, just about getting seasoning, you know, pitching to major league hitters like Drew Waters and seeing how he can kind of manipulate the ball as the starts continue.
Well, I want you to put your skipper cap on. If you're Craig Counsell or any of the other 29 big league managers around Major League Baseball, would you have Caleb Killian as a starter right now, this young in his career, or would you have him coming out of the bullpen because his stuff in small spurts, it's explosive?
Yeah,
base knock
stuff
right
is
there
good.
from Waters.
Yeah, stuff is good. I mean, that's a 3-2 curveball landed for a strike, which I like. I mean, I like guys when they pitch behind and backwards in certain counts. But yeah, I mean, Minor's numbers, as you see in 2021, great. A 2.4 ERA, just a little over 100 innings pitched. Hits are low, strikeouts are high. So the starter makeup is there. The frame is good. 6'6", huge leverage on the ball. But it's just about continuing to make pitches. When he was getting in trouble a little bit, hopefully he's not in trouble here. Possibly calling the trainer in here.
Just making sure everything's all right. Craig Counsell signaling to the officiating crew, of course, trying to get on the same page there. Caleb Killian, like you said, 6'6", big frame. I think we joked don't think we joked. I did announce him at Cubs convention. I said, this guy's built like a Disney prince.
Yeah.
Take a look at that last pitch from Killian and see.
I don't like to see that.
Shows anything.
I gotta shake his
Saw him shake his right hand. Also saw him, like he was kicking out that left foot just a little bit. So as soon as news becomes available to us, as far as Caleb Killian is concerned, we will bring it to you. But either way, Caleb Killian right now exiting the ball game, and seeing some of the guys mill around down there in the bullpen. Next on deck looked to be Ben Brown, but as we look down there, it appears as if there's multiple guys. Got the double barrel action down there in the bullpen as it currently stands, Marsh.
Yeah, and he'll get as much time as he needs to warm up. But, you know, with Caleb Killian pitching as well as he has so far in this game, that's tough to see to come out with an injury.
Absolutely. And this pitching change is brought to you by Lakeside Bank. Lakeside Bank, it's about time. We'll come back in just a flash and get you familiar with the next chucker. Sports Network is brought to you by Budweiser. This Bud's for you. By Advocate Healthcare. Let's live well and make the most of every moment, game day and every day. And by the Bob Lacurcio Auto Group. You're going to like buying a car this way. And you're going to like this because Cubs fans, it all starts April 1st. No fooling around at Wrigley Field, and you have to see it to believe it. Make sure you get your tickets to the Cubs home opener right about now. They'll be welcoming Chris Bryant and those Colorado Rockies to town. Pay a visit to Cubs.com/tickets. Cole Wright, Sean Marshall back here with you. Cubs and Royals deadlocked in a 0-0 ball game, and the new pitcher after Caleb Killian exited the ball game with what looked to be somewhat of an injury. It's Frankie Scalzo Jr. This is a guy who went to Grand Canyon University. He's a San Diego native, and right now he's looking to pique the interest of Craig Councilmarsh.
Yeah, just turned 24 years old in November. Pitched in South Bend most of the year, earned himself a promotion at the end of the season to Double-A. But yeah, electric stuff. Was a max effort guy. Now he's kind of controlled his delivery. His command has been outstanding, as you see, the walks to strikeout numbers in 72 innings pitched. But good opportunity for a young kid to come in here. Kind of a high leverage moment in a 0-0 game.
Absolutely.
Early in the game.
All about confidence, because you have to be a confident cat when you're rocking the nose ring and that New York City fireman mustache. That is a thing of beauty.
That's a beautiful mustache.
That it is. It's a glorious man mane. Caleb Killian right now just taking everything in after leaving this ball game. And as we said, we're going to bring you all the information that's available to us as it becomes available to us as it pertains to Caleb Killian. But in the meantime, runner on first base, bottom of the third, no outs between the Cubs and the Royals, Marshy.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Scalzo gets the opportunity here against a major league team. Probably wasn't penciled in to pitch this game, really, but now he's forced into relief duty. First pitch strike's always good to see, but
sure. Could have been a little bit of a
cross challenge on that fastball. A little sizzle on it.
It did. Tyler Gentry. Some former Alabama Crimson Tide baseball player, and that's a good pitch. And you know, you see that, and that's something that's really spreading like wildfire around Major League Baseball. Pitch stealing. It's all about pitch framing these days, being able to try to yank that pitch over and get that extra strike call, whether it's a ½ inch or 2.5 inches. That's what the game's all about these days.
Yeah, no doubt. And the catchers do a great job. Jan Gomes in particular. Miguel Amaya's worked on that craft as well, but catches a foul tip. Oof. Off the hand right there. That hurts. But you like to see Scalzo Jr. coming in here and pounding 2 quick strikes, getting the head of the hitter. But yeah, this never feels good. The catching position, toughest position in baseball. Yeah,
and you see that something else that has spread over the years has become a little more prominent. Catchers keeping their hand out in front as opposed to tucking that throwing hand behind your back, Marsh. Sometimes it works, other times you get hit right in the paw.
Yeah, it's just playing that position. You never know what to expect back there. It is a tough spot.
Scalzo Jr. delivers to Gentry.
There you go.
Getting the lead out at first right there, and that is what you call heads-up baseball. Luis Vasquez, he is slick on the defensive end, Marsh.
Yeah, definitely known for his defense. Outstanding play. The play's right in front of the runner's right in front of him, so he has a good look, knows that he's got time, fields it first, makes a perfect throw, gets the lead runner. That's a big out, and still sets up the double play.
Yeah, and that's big for Matt Shaw not to fall prey to that swim move. He stuck with them, kept his eyes on the runner, applied that tag, and just like that, there's one out with a man on first, bottom of the third.
Yeah. I like what I've seen from Scalzo so far.
Absolutely.
Just on the attack, good velocity, able to land his breaking ball, and he's one pitch away from getting double play here.
First pitch to John Rave. That's a little outside, 1-0 count.
Downhill. That's nice.
2-0 count. That's certainly a purpose pitch. Rave trying to go a little down in the zone, ratchet up the velocity just a taste. And when it comes to purpose, this next pitch, that could set everything up perfectly here. There you go. Fastball called strike, 2-1 count.
Yep.
Scalzo not going to break the jugs or the ray gun necessarily. That fastball clocking in right at 92, but like you said, it used to be a max effort guy, sometimes pulling back, taking a little velocity off so you can pinpoint. That's where the proof is at.
I mean, this is a beautiful pitch on the down and away corner. Look at the tilt, look at the angle. Great frame, but getting back in the count. Goes 2-1, goes 2-2. Now you got the action pitch right here.
And that's pitch with tons of purpose right there, getting the man out front, off balance. That's really what it's all about. Every kid these days, and I feel like it boils down to every other parent at the ballpark these days has one of those pocket radars, so velocity, that's en vogue right now. But guess what never goes out of style, Marsh? Getting outs and throwing strikes.
Yeah, throwing quality strikes. Just, you know, I always say making pitches.
That ball flipped foul by John Rave. 2-2 count right now. Still one out. Man on first, bottom of the third. If you're just joining us, Cole Wright, Sean Marshall here. Cubs and Royals mixing things up from Surprise Stadium in Surprise, Arizona. Still no score. And Marsh, how do you feel about that mustache? Would you ever grow a mustache like that? I know during your playing career you didn't, but
no.
There's always November rolling around.
I think I could probably try to grow facial hair for an entire year, and I would never, ever have a mustache of that quality.
That is luxurious.
Yes.
2-2 count. Scalzo Jr. rocks and fires to Rave. And Marsh, from what we've seen so far, Scalzo Jr. not afraid to throw an off-speed pitch in any count, at least from what we've seen put on display.
Yeah, great command so far. Just a simple delivery. Pitches exclusively out of the stretch now. It's a good piece of hitting.
Yeah, Rave taking that pitch opposite field. Alcantara coming up a little trouble with that one. Runners advance, and now there's ducks on the pond. Runners in scoring position, a second and third for Kansas City.
Yeah, probably the third or fourth fastball that kind of got poured in on that down and away quadrant, but he's able to stay on it, head down on the ball, let the ball travel, serves the ball in the left field. But it's just a good swing. It's simple, is not trying to do too much, kind of just taking the ball where it was pitched.
Yeah, great two-strike approach right there. All you can do is let that ball travel, like you said, get a little bit deeper. It gives you that extra split second to say, hey, okay, this is a pitch that I've identified that I want to hit, and we're going to do just that. This ball, drum to center field, PCA looking to put that arm on full display, and the run will score. So just like that, Kansas City, they strike first. It's a 1-0 ball game in favor of the Royals, Marsh.
Yeah, and the kind of the misplay by Alcantara lets the Royals runners advance one more base. One swing, that was a kind of a backup curveball. 0-0 strike, but a good piece of hitting by a professional hitter, Michael Garcia, just to serve it in a dead center for the RBI.
Absolutely. Like we said, 1-0 ball game now. Runner on second, 2 outs, bottom of the third. Bobby Witt Jr., the pride of the Fighting George Bretts. He's looking to cause some damage right now versus Frank Scalzo Jr. That ball piped, but PCA isn't rated 80 on defense for no reason. Makes that look easy. 1-0, Royals out in front. We're back after this.
I drove 14.
Demand content on the new Marquee Sports Network app. That includes Cubs documentaries featuring Cubs Hall of Famers and team icons. You can stream all year long only on the Marquee Sports Network app. And we have news to bring to you because there is a new pitcher for Kansas City in this ball game. It's Hillary Carlton and Ashley's cousin. It's Will Smith. We're going to put him in that Fresh Prince designation there, Marsh.
Yeah, there's a couple of Will Smiths in the big league. This is the pitcher. Another one's a catcher for the Dodgers.
That he is.
But yeah, this guy has been a long-time veteran. He's pitched in a lot of big games, especially over the last 3 seasons. He's won World Series over the last 3 seasons, Cole.
Michael Bush.
Good swing.
That ball absolutely peppered down the line. He is looking for extras right out of the box. He's going to have a stand-up double, not looking for 3, but either way, that's part of the reason why he was the MVP a season ago in the Pacific Coast League, Marsh.
Yeah, he can rake.
No doubt.
It's a fastball down and in. Keeps his hands close to his body, head down. Good position. Sweet spot, finds the corner. Leadoff doubles are a good thing, Cole.
And they are all you can really ask for a guy like Michael Bush. And that brings up Alexander Canario. Alexander Canario, he's been my pick to click since spring training. Everything that he was able to do in such a small sample size a season ago, it showed so much promise. In this year, 2024, it could be the year of AC, Marsh.
Yeah, it's all about getting opportunity.
That's true.
Maybe if he doesn't make the team out of spring training, he'll go down and get his repetitions in AAA. But yeah, obviously a threat. We've seen what he's done on the big stage last year. But it's, again, plate discipline. Laying off pitches like that he cannot handle. Being a professional at bat every single time when he gets into the batter's box. And right now he's got a chance to kind of move the runner over to third with the ground ball to right side. We'll see a professional approach that he has, but it's, again, sometimes you got to shorten up on your swing. And he's got plenty of power to hit the ball in the gaps or over the fence, but it's about shortening up and picking pitches that you can hit.
Yeah, remember his first big league start versus those Pittsburgh Pirates. He went bridge right there, and that ball, well, skied, but it could be a little bit of trouble. And John Rave comes on in, and that's a can of corn in most grocery circles. And flashing back right there, Canario, as we said, versus Pittsburgh. That ball absolutely tattooed, and a lot of fans headed home that evening feeling pretty happy.
They started walking towards the gates, and they turned around. That amazing Chicago Cubs crowd. But yeah, that was a huge moment for Alexander, and look for more of that to come.
Absolutely. And for more of this when it comes to upside, Matt Shaw, he's a guy who he really knows his pitches. He knows the pitches that he can hit. He also knows what pitches to lay off, and he's showing a plate presence that's well beyond his years, Marsh.
Yeah, he's only 23 years old. Like we said, he kind of skyrocketed through the Cubs farm system last year. He's one of their top prospects. But he's multi-tooled. He's got all the weapons you need to succeed at the major league level. But again, I'm talking about getting repetitions off of quality major leaguers. Will Smith is a quality major leaguer.
That he is. 1-1 count here to the all-time home run leader at the University of Maryland. Proud Terrapin right there, wearing number 77 on his back. The runner on second looking to drive something in off of Will Smith. And like we said, his pitch recognition and plate presence, it's next level. And that's part of the reason why he was taken inside the top 20 by the Chicago Cubs in the most recent installment of Major League's amateur draft. And I feel as if a good hitter like Matt Shaw, he's not worried about a 2-2 count. He knows no matter what the situation, it only takes one pitch. And I get three of them to make it count. Right here, he's looking to do just that.
It's a good take right there. That ball kind of tickles the bottom of the zone. Again, just great plate discipline right there. Not chase the ball down the zone, not chase the ball up and in that he can't handle 2 pitches prior. But yeah, he set himself up for to get another pitch to hit right here.
There it is. Walks as good as a hit, and the free pass, it just really puts on center stage the value that he brings to the table, because in addition to him just racking up knocks, this is what he does. Matt Shaw, see the ball, hit the ball. He's a station-to-station kind of guy, Marsh.
Yeah, just talking about, keeping the head still when you swing. These pitches, there's no panic. It's an aggressive swing to the ball, but really great balance, great bat path to the ball. Yeah, he's going to be a very, very good player.
And you see that bat just gets through the zone very effortlessly, fluidly, because a lot of his pop is really provided from the bottom half. He came into camp, legs looking like tree trunks, Marsh.
Yeah, he's a big kid.
That he is.
Strong lower half. If you're going to have success in any sport, you got to have strong legs.
Pete Crow Armstrong, he digs in 0-1 count with runners on first and second. Marsh, there's no secret here. You know that a lot of scouts, what do they look for when it comes to guys upside? They're going to be taking a look at those hamstrings, the glutes. What do they look like? How does this guy project a few years down the road? Is he skinny down there, or what are things looking like? And sometimes that projectability, it really comes to the forefront.
Well, yeah, he's a strong kid. I mean, he's lean, no doubt, but the lower half is there. I mean, we've seen the speed, the way he covers the outfield in tonight's game so far, but there's sneaky pop right there. I mean, he can take your bridge on any pitch, especially if it's down and in.
The ball put into play. Steps on second. Fires to first. He's safe. And Pete Crow Armstrong probably going to be in the 99th percentile of toughest guys to double up when the season rolls around. He has
I mean, the speed. Yeah, it's very difficult to double up PCA, but a good pitch by Will Smith on the down and away corner. Gets the weak contact, a broken bat, but PCA able to leg it out. But again, the challenge like that for PCA facing an elite reliever who has great closing experience in Will Smith is, the lefty-lefty matchup. What can you do against a guy like that? So going forward, keeping the shoulder in, staying on the baseball just a little bit longer, kind of taking what you can get.
Pete taking exception to that one. Showed you sprint speed. Not able to get back to the bag quick enough. We'll show you a replay on the flip side. Cubs baseball back in a flash.
Imagine.
We continue to roll. Bottom of the fourth, Cubs and Royals wrapped up in a 1-0 ball game courtesy of the Missouri Blue Bloods. And Pete Crow Armstrong picked off right before we sent you to break. That was the third out of the inning. Took exception with the call, but Marsh on second review, it looked as if he got him on the backside, just talking right there with Nick Lenz, making sure that that was a clean play.
Yeah, it was a good little step-off pick by Will Smith right there. He's got a great view of him, and the runner's right in front of that left-handed pitcher. So, you know, it worked out well for Will and the Royals because the throw was up the line and maybe just grazed him on the leg or grazed him on the back of the leg or the foot before he got into first base.
Ben Brown is the new arm in for Craig Counsell and the Chicago Cubs. That first pitch to Vinny Pasquantino, ramping up that radar gun at 96 miles an hour, another 96 mile an hour heater. And Brown, this is a guy that has tons of upside, and he's looking to fulfill some of those expectations that have been set forth by the Cubs organization. Yeah, no doubt. Another big framed guy, just like Caleb Killian, has had a lot of success in the minor leagues so far, kind of ramping himself up through the Cubs farm system. But yeah, pitchability, you know, being able to mix, being able to attack, high velocity fastball. Last year, 72 2/3 in AAA, struck out 100 batters. Gets Pasquantino to lift this one right here, and that ball reeled in just like that. Pablo Aliendo camped under that one, and now we're going to go down on the field. Elise Menaker, she's got a little more. Elise, what's happening?
Yeah, so Ben Brown, he's on the radar because he's a top prospect, but his teammates are also taking notice. And Drew Smiley talked about him, just saying he has a tremendous head on his shoulders. You know, and veteran guys like himself, they've taken notice of that. They love being around him, and he really likes being around them, he said. He's eager to learn. He's humble, respectful. He has this quiet confidence. Like, he knows how good he is, and he just really needs that first opportunity to break in. And it was really looking that way last year, guys, but then he suffered that injury. So it's exciting to see him back out here and to see what he can bring to this team.
Matt Shaw on the run, picks that one up, flips it to first, gets Nelson Velasquez, who runs well, but Ben Brown out here making quick work of these Kansas City Royals. 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth, Marshall.
Yeah, gets a little ground ball. We see Matt Shaw first step off the bat, attacks the baseball. Boom, smooth transfer, perfect throw. I mean, that's a big league quality third baseman right there.
And it is. And taking a look at Ben Brown, we know he's a big fan of the style, has the socks to complement his game right there. But is he going full Jim Riggleman? No undershirt there, Marsh?
It looks like it, Cole.
Looks like it.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Looks like it.
And that's okay. As long as you're getting guys out.
That's right. That's all that matters. 0-1 count, bottom of the fourth to Adam Frazier here. 2 outs for Kansas City.
It's nice.
Wow. Wasted no time. This
a little backdoor slider. Starts as a ball off the plate. It's that down away quadrant with some angle. Yeah, that's a nice pitch and almost unhittable.
Said setting up other pitches.
There
it is. Ben Brown gets the K and the strut. That puts Kansas City and the bottom of the fourth in the mud. 1-0. Royals on top of the Cubs.
The rest of spring training.
Seiya Suzuki with the home run.
To sign up for the special offer, use code SPRINGTRAINING24 at watchmarquee.com now.
Welcome back once again. Sean Marshall, Cole Wright on the call. Cubs and Royals, where the Cubs trail Kansas City 1-0. Kevin Alcantara, he's going to start things off this inning, and he's been able to do a few things with the glove and with the wood. And when you have a nickname like the Jaguar, that is to be expected, Marsh.
Yeah, I mean, big, tall guy. Strong, kind of floating in the outfield on that catch in right center, and then showcasing the power on a fastball down middle, back spinning at a dead center. I mean, this guy's a big guy. Look at those tree trunks for legs, too, Phil.
He's the kind of cat who walks in and everyone takes notice. 0-1 count right now. Alec Marsh, the new pitcher for Kansas City. 0-1 count for Alcantara. Able to find the outside part of the plate right there and run the count to 0-2 on the Jaguar. See Marsh a season ago, 17 games, that ERA north of 5. Cubs looking to take full advantage right there, but Alcantara with the swing and miss, much to the delight of Marsh.
Yeah, a couple of nice pitches, down away, sweeping off the plate, strike the ball. Again, for Kevin to kind of improve here, you got to try to lay off that pitch right there. It's a tough pitch. It's a long ways away from him where he's positioned in the batter's box, but fouling it off, taking where it's pitched, is something that I can continue to work on.
Yeah, Pablo Aliendo, the new catcher for Craig Counsell and the Chicago Cubs, looking to make a splash in his first at bat right here. And well, this is a guy, when it comes to all the wealth of riches the Cubs have at the backstop position, just one of the many list of names that could be a guy who could make an impact this season.
Yeah, he's ranked as the number 27 prospect for the Chicago Cubs by MLB.com. But again, we're putting the future of the Cubs on display here tonight.
That ball.
And he's one of the guys in the future.
Hit to second, Adam Frazier. He gets the out, and just like that, 2 outs. It's a quick one. Moving along on April 18th, it is Jackie Robinson night. That's right, Jack Roosevelt Robinson. Fans who purchase through the special ticket offers page will receive a limited edition number 42 cap with proceeds benefiting the Support Group, a local organization inspiring underserved youth in Chicago. Just visit Cubs.com/specials. Luis Vasquez, he steps in right now looking for his first knock of the game, and saw him on the backfields 2 weeks ago down there in Arizona. It was he, Owen Casey, Picro Armstrong. They were working left-handed curveball drills with Rachel Folden, and she was putting their feet to the fire, making sure that all these young guys are ready and prepared once things get a little hectic in actual game action.
Yeah, no doubt. And the best hitters hit all types of pitches. They set that curveball machine up, lefty curveballs, righty curveballs, keep taking reps, high velocity, top of the zone velocity pitches. So, you know, putting the work in on the backfields is going to pay off for all these players.
Looking to cut down on the swing and miss, Vasquez is. And that ball looking to find a hole, and that's trouble.
Yeah.
Frazier not able to pull it in, and we'll wait to see if that's ruled a hit or an error. A lot of room to move for Frazier, so Vasquez, he's safe at first, and that's a man on with 2 outs.
Yeah, and again, taking the ball and serving it where it's pitched. It's a 1-2 count, break a ball out over the plate. Didn't try to do too much, hit the ball hard on the ground, and forcing the Royals' defense and Adam Frazier tried to make a play, and he couldn't handle it.
Hard contact is always ideal. However, getting hits, hitting the ball where they're not, that's also a pretty ironclad game plan, and that's what Miles Mastrobuoni is looking to do. 0 for 2 so far, ground out and a fly out, but he's all about squaring fastballs up.
Yeah. And he's got some sneaky pop. I mean, he's pretty well built. And if the ball's in the right spot, down middle, he's able to hit the ball at the ballpark. We've seen it before. We'll see it again. But, you know, for Mastro, just continue to have good discipline, stay within himself, use the whole field like we've seen, you know, use the legs a little bit, push bunt, drag bunt, and just serve the ball left field. He's going to be just fine.
Yeah, guys take a lot of pride in their off-season workout routine. And Miles Mastrobuoni, he was in the gym, no doubt about it, and that was put on full display. We saw him versus the Guardians, giving the fans out there a little souvenir.
Yeah, early in the game, he had robbed a home run and brought the ball back, and then he contributes one of his own to the right field Cubs faithful.
Goes fishing on that high fastball, just like that. Still a 1-0 ball game. We're back right after this. This copyrighted telecast.
Cubs down 1-0 to the Royals, and Craig Counsell, he's been doing something for the last 5-6 years in spring training that he has brought to Cubs camp, and that's individual workouts. So the backstory behind them is actually really interesting. He said he went to Bucks practice, so the Milwaukee Bucks practice, and their former head coach, Mike Budenholzer, he was talking to him and their GM just about different versions of player development, and he said it kind of planted a seed in his head, seeing that these guys were working out, there was this individual time, and he said at the time he wasn't sure how he would bring it to baseball, but he kind of wanted to figure that out. And so the premise behind it, as Vasquez makes a nice play there, is that he wants to really put his coaches in a position where they can get this one-on-one time with the player. He described it, he wants to get them in the sweet spot of coaching. So if he can put them where they are best, right? Like, so the hitting coaches focusing on hitting, pitching coaches focusing on pitching, base running, whatever it is, that the players can then maximize their time with their coaches, but it's also beneficial for the players because it's their time to kind kind of just decide, like, what do they want to do with it? What do they want to get out of this individual workout? So guys like Hendricks and Horner have brought it up that it's just really nice to have that time in camp where they can just kind of decide what they want to do and work on what they want to work on. So it's been really interesting to hear about, guys.
And at least it's funny you make mention of Craig Counsell planting seeds with players as well as coaches, because as it currently stands, Ben Brown out there on the hill just 13 pitches deep into this outing, planting seeds into that catcher's mitt with Pablo Aliendo behind the dish in Kansas City right now. Not able to do a whole bunch this play, making it look easy. Miles Mastrobuoni just flipping to first.
Yeah, some good angle. I mean, that ball's got some tilt on it down in the zone. Got some run off the barrel. Weak contact for the 4-3. But yeah, Ben Brown been on the attack. I mean, he's 94, probably 94, 97, can touch 98. He's able to pinpoint that backdoor slider last inning. But that's just a good pitch with great angle. Staying off the barrel. I mean, he looks good. Just like Caleb Killian. Hopefully his arm is okay. But both guys throwing the ball really, really well today.
Still looking to scour around to see if anyone has ever seen our player development analyst Lance Brzdowski and Ben Brown in the same place at the same time. They look quite similar. And how about that? Matt Shaw flashing the leather, making sure that Kansas City is put on notice. Just like that. Pick it, throw it, and let's get into the dugout. Still a close ball game, 1-0 Kansas City on top of the Cubs at the end of 5. Thanks for hanging with us. Cubs and Royals from Surprise, Arizona at Surprise Stadium, top of the 6th. Royals clinging to a 1-0 lead. That brings Garrett Cooper to the plate, and he's been able to square some fastballs up this evening, Marsh.
Yeah, a couple good at-bats. And he's just a pro hitter. He really is. He takes what's given. He's got the sneaky pop. He's had a long, successful major league career, and he comes over to the Cubs because Duke can hit.
Non-roster invitee for Craig Counsell and the Chicago Cubs in 2024. However, anytime that there's an opportunity presented to him, he's looking to take full advantage. And we've said that time and time again about guys all up and down this lineup, but it rings true for everybody. Like these opportunities, they just don't come around every single day. So when they are put in the forefront, you need to snatch them up, Marsh.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're given an opportunity to do your very best. And every chance you get, but man, Alec Marsh,
filling up the zone right there.
He's looked pretty sharp so far. He's one of their guys over there, but challenged fastball, solid breaking balls, and just kind of got Cooper in between on that one.
Yeah, and whoopsie daisy, don't look now, but that fastball that rang him up 97 miles an hour. So he's all about the velocity. And these Cubs hitters, they know that if they want to be able to catch up, they got to get those hands going quick. Michael Busch, the lefty, holding it down to DH today. 1 for 2. We saw him with a ring-in double down the right field line. Great piece of hitting a little earlier in the contest.
Alec Marceau's first pitch slider, kind of in, belt high, thigh high, then goes backdoor slider. So he's in, he's out. Probably go up here. Chase
Alec
back
Marsh wasting zero time right there, absolutely carving Bush out. 3 straight strikes, and he's walking to the dugout scratching his head. Now Sunday, April 21st, the Cubs will offer the first installment of a special Heritage Cap Series. Fans who purchase through the special ticket offers page, you're going to receive a limited edition Cubs cap featuring the flag of Mexico. Just visit Cubs.com/specials because that is a nifty lid, no doubt about it. Alexander Canario looking for a nifty AB right here. 2 outs, 1-0 count. Looking for that first knock of the contest, Marsh.
Yeah, no doubt. We've seen Alec Marsh. He's on the attack with all of his pitches. Sinker in off the plate. Hard hit there.
Canario putting a charge in that. Bobby Witt Jr. able to throw across the diamond.
Pitching, good defense.
Absolutely, using that turf to his advantage. 1-0 Cubs trailing the Royals. We hit the middle of the 6th. We're back after this. Cubs baseball on Marquee Sports Network is brought to you by your local Hyundai dealer. Find the dealer nearest you at buyhyundai.com. By Wintrust, proud legacy partner of the Chicago Cubs and exclusive home of Cubs checking. And by Prevagen. Prevagen is the #1 pharmacist-recommended memory support brand. New pitcher here for the Chicago Cubs, a home half of the 6th inning. Alongside Sean Marshall, I'm Cole Wright, and it's Luke Little. This man right here, anything but. He throws absolute pellets. Was down there in Arizona and Mesa at Sloan Park in his live batting practice session, Marsh. He was pouring it in 96 to 98, and there's a whole bunch more that's left in the tank. He can throw gas, no doubt.
Yeah, it looks like he doesn't have a pitch comm. I don't think he's like, I don't have
Imagine
one.
that.
But we go back to the old days.
What players do before pitch comm?
Put fingers down, right? Like 1 fastball,
what a novel
2
idea.
Curve, 3 slider. But yeah, Little. It's an understatement. This guy is, he's a giant out there. And the ball comes out like a big guy too. I mean, he's mid to upper 90s. Flakes. But it's about finding consistency, you know, attacking the strike zone, minimizing the walks, using that big frame to get down the mound, get the perceived velocity, and command the off-speed stuff. So lefty-lefty matchup. There is probably some availability in Craig Counsell's bullpen for a lefty or 2 down there. So Luke Little is in the mix in that conversation.
Yeah, the scoreboard on his first offering reads at 92. Something tells me the jugs could be just a little off because that one ratcheted up to 96. And here's some defensive moves to keep you abreast on Luke Little. Obviously on the mound for Craig Counsell, Chase Strumpf, he checks in at second base for Miles Masterboni, and Matt Mervis, he comes in at first base. And Merv, you know, a lot of fans right there that came to watch this game in surprise. If you're Cubs fans, you're looking for Matt Mervis to swing the bat.
Yeah, no doubt. We'll see him bat probably 2 innings from now, unless the Cubs can throw up a bunch of hitters next inning. But yeah, Mervis, we talked about prospects on this show today in our pregame, setting up the game. This is some of the future of the Chicago Cubs. Matt Mervis is one of those guys. Luke Little's one of these guys. So we're seeing the Cubs farm talent on display tonight. Luke Little, some backspin heat right there.
Yeah, climbing the ladder on John Rave, 96 miles an hour. And I got to be honest with you, Sean, that smells like pure gasoline.
Yeah, it's probably not a very comfortable at bat for any left-handed batter. But, you know, top of the zone, kind of tickle. You know, at the letters, it's a hard pitch to lay off of. I got a lot of strikeouts off the top of the zone after breaking balls, but he has some kind of velocity compared to what I could do. But, yeah, being a big guy with a big stride, perceived velocity, and just for him to attack the strike zone is going to make him even better.
Luke Little to Michael Garcia runs the count up to 1-1. And not only does he throw hard, as you mentioned, he has that size. So it's coming in at 98 miles an hour, but it gets up on you just that much quicker because he's halfway home when he delivers.
Yeah, and the mound is 60 feet 6 inches, and a guy with his frame, I mean, he's probably getting down there 10 feet, 12 feet on you, throwing the ball at about 48 feet or so. So
no, thank you.
Yeah, when you're throwing 97, 98, you're looking at a pitch that appears to be in the hundreds. So, you know, commanding the off-speed pitches, just like that, that's in the zone. That's strike the ball. That's a good spot. But when you throw that hard, the hitters have to make their mind up to swing early. And it makes pitches like this back foot kind of chasing slider in there, a pitch that the hitter wants to swing at. So, and again, speed him up, slow him down, speed him up.
95.
Great speed change, top of the zone, back-to-back strikeouts, the fastball up.
Easier said than done. And if you're a batter that's digging in versus Luke Little, and anybody who throws pepper like that, the best approach, ideally, would be to shorten up.
Yep.
Look for something fast and react to the slow stuff. But
yeah,
like we said, easier said than done. Luke Little keeping him out front and off balance. Bobby Witt Jr., bottom of the 6th here. With 2 outs, takes a first pitch ball.
Another good test for Little right here to face one of the game's very best.
Pro hitter for sure.
There you go.
And this ball lifted. Oh, a little trouble right there. A little miscommunication between Canario, Matt Mervis, and Chase Strumpf. And that's what spring is about. Elise talked about it off the top of the broadcast. She said that Craig Counsell wants these guys to go out there and make these mistakes. And right here, it's a communication error.
Yeah, in spring training, you know, once or twice a week, you're working on communication on fly balls and no man's land like that. But it's probably Chase Strumpf needs to take charge right there. The second baseman come in, call off Mervis. I mean, it's tough. There's no sun tonight, but when the ball's up in that no man's land right there with some backspin, the ball's going to track back into the infield, coming back to Chase Strumpf right there. So yeah, communication and something for the guys to continue to work on in spring training.
Seems to be a little lag in the game right here.
Yeah, the batter has to kind of engage with his eyes before the pitcher can come to his set mark.
Subtle nuances when it comes to the pitch clock. Of course, the pitch clock with runners on base. And that ball squirts past Matt Mervis. That allows the runner to advance. So man on second, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th here for the Kansas City.
Yeah, and I said that was a good pick. I mean, I thought the move was good. Got Bobby Witt a speedster leaning right there, but it was about executing the whole play. I mean, he had him leaning on the move with his leg kick, but just made a bad throw.
And tricked Bobby Witt Jr. a little bit. Also tricked Matt Mervis. That's one thing you do not want to do, Marshall.
Yeah, that's a tough pitch to handle for sure, or a tough pickoff throw.
And sometimes as a pitcher, especially a lefty, when you see that you have the guy dead to rights, every once in a while you hold on to the ball just a little longer, or you let go of it a little earlier. Sometimes you'll sail it, sometimes you'll spike it, as we saw.
Yeah. So, you know, the miscommunication, the ball falls for a single.
Sure.
The wheels start spinning a little bit for Luke Little right here. It's about for him to step off. I know you don't have but so much time with the pitch clock moving, but to regroup himself and just make a pitch. Sometimes young players, the game will speed up and you'll start rushing. And then the mistakes come. Now you got a man on second, you throw a mistake, it's a single, it's a gapper, and then the wheels start moving and the run starts scoring. So important moments like this, good learning moment for Luke Little, slow the game down just a little bit.
That ball in on the hands to Pasquantino. Also a big man himself. Not as big as Luke Little. Tied for the tallest player in Cubs history. 5 others at 6'8". If I'm not mistaken, Trevor McGill, former Chicago Cub, Milwaukee Brewer. Yeah. He's right around 6'8". I rolled past him one day on a scooter, and he was still taller than me. That offering.
And again, with his breaking ball in this outing and in Luke Little's last outing, he kind of just pulls it, you know, trying to make it either spin too much or get too much action on the pitch. If he just stays simple and stays in control, he gets a little bit of fall off towards that third base side. And when he pulls off, the ball pulls with him. We've seen a couple mistakes off the plate to his glove side. I think he just keeps it on line a little bit better like he does on these fastballs. That breaking ball command will come back.
There you have it. Kevin Alcantara pulls it in. Still 1-0. Kansas City Royals out in front of the surprise. Welcome back. 1-0 ball game. Royals out in front of the Chicago Cubs at Surprise Stadium. It's Pup at the Park night, and it's top of the 7th. Matt Shaw, not a pup, even though he is young in age. He's an absolute dog. 8 days a week. You saw in his first plate appearance, drew the free pass. This guy's a professional hitter, Marsh. Yeah, he just looks like a ball player. I mean, we've seen the plays that he's made in this game so far. The approach is good. I mean, those are 2 tough pitches. He just puts himself in the hole 0-2, but I don't think there's any panic. Calls his timeout, regroups. But Alec Marsh, he's been outstanding so far. He has been. He's one of the dogs for Kansas City Royals. Nope. Shaw knows he has that available to him, that timeout. So take that breather, slow things down just a little bit, get back in that batter's box, and let's square something up and hit it hard somewhere. Good takes. Absolutely. Like we talked about during his last at bat, just his ability, his plate presence, his pitch recognition, light years ahead of his major league or even minor league experience for that matter. Ball hit hard up the middle. Witt Jr. ranging to his left, and ooh, bang bang play, but yeah, Shaw not able to leg that one out. Yeah, Bobby Witt. We've seen some great defense on the left side for both teams. Again, Bobby Witt. Oh, it's bang bang. Oh, that it was. Bang bang. Got a little calls himself off safe. Balance about 3/4 of the way down the line, but Matt Shaw. Oh, it's Fitzgerald. Yeah, he's going to be a substitution. It wasn't Bobby Witt. It's a good play. These guys looking an awful lot like each other. They have the luscious locks. Got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers goatee going on, and Pete Crow Armstrong top of the 7th with 1 out right here. Shoots that offering foul. PCA, that's a nice piece of hitting right there. However, that's Drew Waters able to reel that one in. That brings about 2 outs on the inning for Kansas City. PCA,
good swing.
Sometimes it's easier said than done trying to get a hit, whether it's spring training, the regular season, you're down on the farm, you're with the big club. This game isn't easy, Marsh.
I mean, you got to like that. It's disappointing that he's out, but it's a hard hit ball. He hit that ball right on the screws. Good read by the center fielder, but you got to like to come out with a result. PCA should feel good about hitting the ball hard.
All you can ask for. If you're Kevin Alcantara, you're looking for some hard contact. That's what you saw after his first 2 at-bats resulting in strikeouts. The Cubs still looking for that first run of the game. 1-0 KC in front.
This
Marquee Sports Network is brought to you by UI Health, changing medicine for good. By Toyota, official vehicle of the Chicago Cubs. And by Northwestern Medicine. When it comes to your health, a second opinion is always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine.
As we keep rolling here, Cubs and Royals, I have Pete Crow Armstrong with me, ready to chat. I actually want to start with your last at-bat. When you have... no, but because you have some hard contact up the middle. I'm curious the feedback you get from that. Maybe it's not the result, but you've got to feel good knowing when you hit it hard up the middle.
Yeah, any swing like that is going to feel good, especially to end your day. But I think for me that just adds and builds confidence in terms of a focus of mine is being able to stay in an at-bat in my third, fourth plate appearance, and being able to finish a day like that after a bit of a tough start feels good for sure. I would have liked that to fall so we could have kept hitting, but yeah.
I know the competitor always wants the results, right? Actually, let's talk a little bit about that. What more do you want to see out of yourself this spring?
That's a good question. I don't quite know, honestly. I think a good example would be just I went back to DK, and even still I had a little bit of like, that should have fallen, that should have done this, I should have. And it's less of that I want. It's being okay with just the swing itself, the contact, the intent, all of that. So I think if anything, I want to see myself just get better at processing failure this spring. I think if I can do that, then results really become, insignificant in the grand scheme of things. And I think if anything, if history is shown, I find a way to pick it up during the year. It doesn't always start off the best. So I think focusing on everything external, outside of getting on base or not, so, yeah.
As you describe this, describe for me like the growth, because when you're up here last year, it feels like you're trying to soak everything in. So you probably weren't even at a point where you could really digest the game and think, okay, how do I take the next step? So describe just the growth you've had over the last year or so.
Yeah, a lot. I think even the short time up in the big leagues was pretty telling in terms of what I needed to work on. I think we've talked about that this offseason, but you know, I think last year and this year aren't that much different. I still have all the same guys in front of me to, you know, kind of look up to. So I don't know. I mean, I think last year it was actually easier to take in the game because I was so focused on little details and making sure I was standing by Greeny or Willie or Knapp or Nico, like whoever it was, you know, and kind of just talking baseball. So now I feel like it's a little bit more of like adding what I took from spring training on, you know, through last year into the off season into this spring, and then carry whatever I feel like I'm doing well into the year.
And something you and I have also talked about is the little things that you pick up. You mentioned those conversations. We always see you having them. One that you had with Hap was about batting practice in particular, like just little things like that. And you said to me, Hap told me, you know, you're not judged on your BP. Like, I don't have to rush through it. What are like those conversations? What are you gaining from them? Like little nuggets like that you pick up?
Yeah, well, that's a big one, is like routines. You know, everybody's got their own. And it's been very interesting to see kind of like what works for who. But that point that Hap made was good, because you'd rather see somebody that looks focused on their work, you know, with good and bad swings, because then you can see, like I said, intentions. Like you could see their intentions and what they are in there to do, and that's not to go hit 500 in your cage work, you know. And I get lost in that sometimes, where you know, I need everything to be pretty and perfect, and it's just not that way most of the time, especially in this game. So, yeah, tidbits like that, they're cool because you kind of get to continue to let people get to know you, and vice versa. So that's all it really is. I'm trying to just expand the dialogue you know, myself and then these other guys have kind of created so far. So.
Okay, so I always sense, and I think people feel that competitor in you. I'm sure you love it, obviously, when you're out in the field. What do you love to do to, like, relax and take your mind off of things? Because I don't know that about you.
I read a lot. I've always got music playing. My girlfriend has a dog, and it's now become my dog. So I like walking the dog and hanging out with the dog. He's a big 110-pound German Shepherd. And then I'm a movie buff. Like I like movies and cinema and all that good stuff. So, well, in different ways, yeah. I think I would see myself as more of a movie critic if I were to ever venture into the entertainment business, not so much on screen.
I'm sure your parents love that.
Yeah, no, they do. They never push me towards that. They wanted me to stay out there.
PCA, as always, great stuff from you. Thank you so much for chatting.
Thanks, Elise. Appreciate it.
Cole.
Elise, PCA, good stuff, and we know PCA a big connoisseur of fine music. Still waiting to see what he's hoping to select as his walk-up music right here. Lovelady versus Duran. Looks like that back foot slider was a back foot slider when it comes to the literal sense. Really bouncing off his back foot there.
Back foot. But Richard Lovelady, he's been good so far.
Yes.
Punches out the first two batters that he's faced. Got kind of a funky arm slot. A little bit herky-jerky, tall frame guy. Pitched for Oakland last year. Pitched a bunch in the big leagues, but kind of sneaky, kind of deceptive. Has had a track record of getting some guys out. So this is another good chance for him to kind of prove himself, show what he can do in front of Craig Counsell, Tommy Hotovy, and maybe make himself available with the Cubs bullpen sometime.
Yeah, you see his numbers from a season ago. Yeah, 23 1/3 innings. Just 3 home runs allowed, so he's been economical trying to keep the ball in the ballpark, and some of that may stem from that funky sidearm delivery that you see right there.
Yeah,
3/4 at least.
That's 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
It's got some
tough to hit.
Got some run, arm side run, and then kind of snaps that breaking ball right off of it. There it is, right there.
A little bit of fuzz on that right there.
Sweet.
Runs the count to 2-1.
That's good. I mean, that starts front hip to left-handed batter. See a little bit of a buckle. I mean, that ball ends up middle. So you say it starts as a ball, ends as a strike. He can expand a breaking ball off of that.
And that's huge when you're a pitcher who can command your stuff and go ball to strike. The hitters, they only have a split second to process. If you're thinking ball, 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 and then all of a sudden it's a strike, it's going to be something you can definitely back pocket.
Yeah. But yeah, talking about, you know, ball to strike, strike to ball, it's all about what the hitter sees halfway to the plate. You know, when I was pitching, I would pitch off of pitches. So I would see where the ball was, my previous pitch, and pitch a pitch off of that. So I throw a fastball at the top of the zone, halfway to the plate, it appeared as the ball up. I would throw a breaking ball out of that same tunnel off of that pitch. And same likewise with sinkers away, backdoor sliders, four-seamers in, cutters off. I would want the ball to appear in the same spot halfway the plate every single time, but let the action of the pitch do different things. Pitch tunneling is what they call it. And when I first came up in 2006, as a rookie, I was locker next to Greg Maddux. And I was asking him questions. How do you get guys to freeze on that comeback sinker? He said, well, I make balls appear in the same spot halfway the plate. And nowadays it's called pitch tunneling. It's making the ball appear in the same spot. The hitter has to commit swing as the ball's traveling halfway the plate and make up his mind to go. So Lovelady's done a nice job with the first two batters. Kind of losing it here, needs to slow it down. He's one pitch away from getting out of this jam with 2 outs.
There's the free pass right there to Cross, and that could come back to bite him because Tyler Gentry, he is free to move about the bases. That one not coming back. 2-run poke, and Kansas City, they're on top just like that.
Ken, the inning started out so well while PCA was being interviewed right there. He was commanding both pitches, sinkers and sliders over the middle, but kind of fell behind, started nibbling, trying to make the perfect pitch, gets 2 guys on base, and then gets ambushed on the heater in the middle of the zone. Mistake out over the plate. Gentry able to extend his hands, pull the ball for power for a 3-run shot, make the score 4-0.
Yeah, I beg your pardon. That was a 3-run job right there. 4-0 Kansas City out in front, and Lovelady right now looking to get out of this inning with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Anything that could bring this one to a close, he's looking for it.
Yeah, we've seen good pitching all game. This is really the only blemish of an inning so far on both sides. But Lovelady just needs to slow it down just a little bit, stay back on his backside. He's kind of rushing. That's why the ball's jumping and sweeping a little bit extra with a breaking ball. And he's jumping a little bit, and that's why you get the arm side misses too. Your body's not catching up. So he needs to lay on that backside, get his arm going, and just put a ball on the outside edge just like that.
Yeah, that ball squirts foul. Fitzgerald going to get to do it all over again. 1-2 count, 2 outs, bottom 7 here. And it's not as easy as it once was when things are going awry for players to try to find that sense of calm. You can't step off as much. Now there's the pitch clock, so you got to pick and choose your spots, Marsh.
Yeah, no doubt. And that would have been a big adjustment for me. I mean, I was pretty slow.
Methodical.
I was methodical, we'll call it, in between pitches. And there was a time or two where my third baseman, Aramis Ramirez, would come over and be like, hey,
let's go.
Pick the pace up.
Let's pick it up. We got things to do.
And it is helpful to keep a good tempo, but sometimes you can go too fast. And, you know, it would have been an adjustment period for me with that pitch clock for sure.
Ryan Fitzgerald lifts this one to center field. That's camp right there. 4-0 Royals on top of the Cubs at the end of 7.
And the Cubs are down 4-0, and I'm joined by Kevin Alcantara. And his glove, we have to start with your glove. It's the best part. So this is not leather. Just describe how this all came together.
I don't know the material I use for my glove, but it's so soft. It's so soft. I think it's hair. It's hair. It's so cool. It's so pretty. It's so comfortable.
Obviously the Jaguar. That's where this comes from. But what made you think to make your glove like this?
¿Qué te hizo pensar en la idea de tener el guante así y crear algo así con tu guante?
Yeah, I think in Marucci, because Marucci have a good creator for creative for batting glove and glove. Yeah, I look in the store, say I'm push your color in the store, make your glove what you want. You say okay, I'm cool, I'm create this glove and another I have in home now. But it's my idea for this glove.
We love it. You did a great job. You're also doing a great job on the field. You had your first home run the other day. What does it feel like right now at the plate?
Yeah, I feel grateful first because I have 1 week no play and coming. My first swing is homer. It's awesome, you know. Yeah, I'm trying to make my swing and my strike zone for improve more in the future.
And in the field, how do you feel out there playing in the field?
I feel grateful because it's my life. Play every day, enjoy with my friends.
Describe more about that, just being out here in camp, what you're getting out of it.
Yeah, my first focus is learning the old guys, you know. When I have the opportunity for learning the old guys, I'm talking to him and say Bailey, Swanson, or other guys, and I'm learning a lot. It's my focus, maybe focus for the future, you know.
Anything has stuck out to you that you've learned from Belly or Swanson or one of the older guys?
Advice, yeah. It's confidence,
Okay.
and Belly and Swanson, but it helped me a lot.
Getting this opportunity, what does it mean to you just to be around these guys, like you said, and to get to talk to them and get that advice?
Significa tener esta oportunidad de estar aquí con esos muchachos y como mencionaste, platicar con ellos, ¿verdad? Que te den consejos. ¿Qué significa eso para ti, estar aquí y tener esa oportunidad?
I feel so happy because I work a lot for stay right here, you know. Yeah, I feel grateful because the guys is so funny and talk to me a lot, you know. And my first thing is no shy, never. See, I need to talk to Belly, I go to talk to Belly. I don't care you tell me, you know. I need to learn and ask questions. It's my point. Ask questions for learning more.
What are you most excited about moving forward as part of this, really good Cubs system?
¿Qué te emociona más de ser parte de este sistema de los Cubs, esta organización muy buena?
My first priority is the fans, you know. I'm play for the fans. See, the fans not in play and feel sad or whatever, but when the fans support you every day, it come into the field and say you can do it, I feel so happy. My first point is the fans.
And I can tell that you've worked really hard on your English. You're doing a fantastic job. How have you learned it? Did you take lessons, like the classes in the minors?
I take class a lot, but the more important is not be shy in talking to the friends, you know, because some guys know I'm learning because shy, but I don't have shy. I'm talking, I ask. Yeah, I'm learning a little bit, but I think I'm promised it's much better for next year.
No, this is fantastic. It takes a lot of courage to do this. You're doing a great job. We really appreciate it, Kevin. We look forward to seeing you more out there, too. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And with that is 3 outs. Perfect timing, Kevin, like a pro. We'll be back after this.
All right, back on this Royals and Cubs broadcast, and here's a look at Steinhoffel's upcoming schedule. On Wednesday, it's the Halos, the Reds, the Mariners, the Rockies, and then the defending world champions on Sunday. That is who the Cubs open up the 2024 campaign. And when it comes to Cody Bellinger, we're going to see him in action. He'll be holding down some designated hitting duties on Wednesday, and that is a welcome sign. Looking to see him on the field defensively either Friday or Saturday. We heard Pete Armstrong sing the praises, and that's good news, especially if you're Craig Counsell, having that guy, Cody Bellinger, number 24, back at your disposal.
Yeah, I mean, a great guy to talk to. You know, PCA should be asking as many questions as they can to veteran Cody Bellinger. It's good to have Bellinger back this year.
That's right. Saw the Steinhoffel's updated schedule, and Cody Bellinger, he's like a nice, comfortable recliner in the living room right there. You know you can always count on him. That's what he's looking to do this season. And a new pitcher in this ball game, Sam McWilliams, bringing the count to 2-1 versus Vaz.
As you see, 602 and 2/3 innings in the minor leagues. First selected by the Arizona Diamondbacks in the 8th round of 2014. So he's got a bunch of innings under his belt. Another guy you get a chance to get a good long look at here in this contest tonight.
Yeah, if you're a pitcher like McWilliams, you love the body of work that you've been able to compile. However, you would like to see the innings tick down just a little bit if they were big league innings as opposed to those down on the farm.
Good swing there.
Yeah. Good swing put on that by Vaz, as you alluded to. McWilliams leaves that offering over the plate, and Vaz makes him pay.
Yeah, a little 2-2 breaking ball ends up down and in. That's usually the happy zone to left-handed batters, is that down and in spot. So he does a nice job not getting too far out front. Vaz stays behind it, finds the barrel, keeps his head down on the pitch, serves a leadoff single into right field.
Brings up Bradley. And Marsh, ever the optimist, as you always are. McWilliams, he's just one pitch away from 2 outs. A double play, that could work to his advantage right now.
I always say it, one pitch at a time.
Let's go.
And one of my favorite pitching coaches, Larry Rothschild, was the guy that would come out and say that, hey, forget what happened, you're one pitch away. And that stuck with me for a long, long time. The same thing I teach all the players that I coach and my kids. You're one pitch away from getting out of any circumstance. So he rolls a nice little ground ball right here, gets 2 outs, and then he's one more pitch away from getting out of the inning.
Orlando not able to get Vaz at second.
Yeah, and that one's on the pitcher.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we always strive to be like about a 1.3 seconds to home plate. McWilliams is a big guy, a big leg kick. It takes a long time for a big guy get the ball to play, but a good jump kind of timed him up, kind of fell into the same rhythm every pitch. If Vaz got a good jump, still second.
That pitch cut on from Bradley. 1-2. And if you're McWilliams,
that's a good spot.
Perhaps you come into a contest like this thinking, okay, if runners are allowed on base, I'm not worried about them right now. I'm worried about the man in the batter's box, and we'll address the base runners, some pick moves as the spring progresses.
Sure. Oof. Yeah, he's a little challenged fastball 1-2. That cutter that was down and in was a good spot. Appeared just like a fastball down, and again, so he's kind of got Bradley in between through the cutter. He was pulled off his out front. You see that front side leaking a little bit? That down away spot is wide open right here. It could be backdoor slider, back foot slider right there as we see. But that's got good tilt, good angle, and a good put away pitch right there. Talk about pitches that are strike the ball halfway to the plate. Boom, right there.
Got him.
Ball ends down towards that back foot. Here's a strike, down out of the zone. That pitch is almost impossible to lay off of if it's right there halfway to the plate.
Yeah, we talked about the ability to throw ball to strike pitches, but strike to balls also very important. And well, when you can keep guys out front just like that, that's a deadly pitch. And he's trying to go back to that one once again. McWilliams, 11th offering of his outing. Bottom of the 8th, 1-0 count to Lester.
Yeah, McWilliams
Josh
got
Lester,
good stuff.
not to be confused with John Lester.
Not John. Although John, big left-handed batter, he really started to learn that.
When he put something on,
swing that bat late in his career now.
And McWilliams ratcheting it up when it comes to the radar gun, 97 miles an hour. He's all about the velocity as well, and that's one thing that we've seen so far this year that we haven't seen in years past. There are a few guys, more than a few, that flirt with triple digits on the squad, Marshall.
Yeah, no doubt. And that's kind of the theme of all the players now. I mean, chasing some velocity. And it lets you get away with a little bit more sometimes. If you got some pepper on it, you get by a guy. I mean, velocity does help for sure, but I always go back to well-executed pitches. Like, that's a well-executed pitch. It's got some pepper on it. I mean, it's probably 90. It says 98 down in the zone, some tilt. But again, even if it's 92, 93, a pitch down there, you're really probably not going to get hurt on it. And that's the day and age that I grew up on. I mean, I didn't have a whole lot of velocity. I was 88 to 92. I'd mix, I'd slow them down, speed them up. But I'm just telling you, if you make good pitches in the strike zone with quality, you're going to get a quality result.
Yeah. Jefferson Rojas checking in at shortstop for our guy Luis Vasquez. And when you're out there on the mound, and if you're a righty like McWilliams, or a lefty for that matter, when you see a guy in that front hip open up just a little bit, does that change your pitch selection to him, saying, okay, he's not keeping that front side closed, and I know he's going to expose himself on more than a few of these offerings?
And that's pitching, is being able to read what's going on. Read how a guy swings, read how a guy takes, whether he fouls it up back off the barrel, whether he hits it hard off the barrel, whether he's out front. There's a lot of things that go into picking the right pitch. And that's a good spot right there. I mean, that's, again, like we talked about, strike the ball halfway the plate. It's the same, really the same pitch location as the last strikeout, but it's good. When you throw 98 like we saw that other fastball, hitter has to commit. That ball appears as a strike, ends as a ball, gets a nice swing and miss, back-to-back strikeouts after dealing with a little bit of trouble to start off this inning.
Oh, Josh Lester looking like country breakfast. Remember Billy Butler from Kansas City Royals fame? Goes down swinging right there.
That dude could hit.
He could.
He could hit.
Yeah, they don't give out nicknames to guys who can't hit.
Yeah.
Country breakfast, one of the best nicknames in baseball history.
There it is. I mean, that is a nice slide.
That is.
I mean, he's featured really, really good stuff. I mean, multiple swing and miss. I don't have the numbers in front of me as far as whiffs, but when you're missing barrels, I mean, if I'm pitching right now, I'm throwing that pitch again and again until that hitter makes an adjustment.
Hernandez,
there you go.
It's off the trouble right there. Rolls that one to second. Jefferson Rojas.
There we go.
Aims and fires, and just like
good
that.
Spot.
The 8th inning, it's a thing of the past. Top of the 9th, coming up after this. For the latest Cubs news and in-depth feature stories presented by our guy Jeff Vukovich, your local Nationwide insurance agent. Visit jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. Matt Sauer, the new pitcher for these Kansas City Royals last season, relegated to farmhand work, 17 games, a 6-5 record, a 3.41 ERA. Quite admirable considering a lot of guys in this day and age, Marshy, we're seeing them north of 4.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, a tall, thin guy. Maybe about 91, 95. That's at 94 right there. Curveball, slider, a little changeup. But again, we've seen a slew of solid arms come out of that Royals bullpen today. They've been really tough, challenging the Cubs lineup, effectively throwing off speed for chases and weak contact. They've pitched a really nice game tonight as a whole.
Yeah, Chase Strumpf, he leads off the top of the ninth for Craig Counsell and the Chicago Cubs here. 0-2 count, quickly in the hole. Looking to try to get something going here, trying to get the Cubs in the scoring column, currently being blanked 4-0 by Kansas City. It's a professional take right there from Chase Strumpf. 89-mile offering from Matt Sauer. Strumpf has some pop. 21 pops a season ago down on the farm, and looking for that opportunity so he can hopefully see that be translatable. Right there, that at bat not fruitful, goes down swinging. That's one out here in the top of the ninth, Marsh.
Yeah, and the Royals last year, you know, the pitching wasn't very good. You know, they lost over 100 games, and bullpen was one of the reasons why they lost games. But they've done a nice job, at least for what we've seen here tonight, of adding some key pieces that are going to make that bullpen pretty solid. I mean, every arm that they've thrown out are guys that likely on the team this year for them, and they've pitched a terrific ball game. Sometimes you got to tip your cap to good pitching, and they've had good pitching today.
Absolutely, it's a case of real recognizing real, and this guy Michael Busch, well, he's a real professional hitter. You see him 1 for 3 on this day, trying to work the count a little bit, but once again falls down in that hole. 0-2 just like that, Marsh.
That's a good spot. I mean, it's borderline, you know, bottom of the knees. That's a pitcher's pitch for sure, but we'll see what Mike Busch can do with the 0-2 count.
Sauer trying to get Busch to chase just a little bit down and in, but a little more down and in than most left-handed sticks would prefer.
Yeah, it just didn't appear as a strike. And, you know, as a hitter, if you see the ball way off or way in, way down, you just lay off it, and he did a good job of that. I don't think so.
Same pitch once again.
Oh man.
Questionable call down there, down the third base line.
It's close.
I have to excuse myself.
Side view.
My fandom was showing there.
Yeah, I didn't think he went.
Not at all.
And he didn't go, but umpires thought otherwise.
Third base umpire has an outstanding reservation at Maple and Ash in Old Town Scottsdale. Owen Casey, he could change the whole complexion of this game with one swing. Like we said, he, PCA, Luis Vasquez, they were working some of the, that would have been an unbelievable effort. Yeah, it's off the net. We saw Casey.
Almost gloved it. That would have been a nice play.
That would have been. Let's take another look at this one right here.
And one of the toughest
Cue the
plays in baseball.
March
right
of the Gladiators. The circus music.
Yeah, but going back to Owen Casey, I mean, he's had a great,
strong kid,
great spring so far. Really as advertised, one of the Cubs' top prospects. He's kind of living up to expectations so far. I like what I've seen. You know, a very balanced approach, strong dude, doesn't have to take much to hit the ball hard or hit the ball over the fence, but really shown good discipline, and he's just trending in the right direction. And like we talked about on our broadcast open, pieces of the Cubs' future, Owen Casey's going to be one of them.
And shout out to Rachel Folden. She had Owen Casey, Luis Vasquez, and Pete Crow Armstrong. And like we said, he could change at this ball game with one swing of the bat. That one looked as if it was going to get out of the yard, but it goes in the books as a stand-up double for OC. Time's up. That's his first hit of the ball game and his first plate appearance.
Yeah, great plate coverage. You know, that ball was down and out and stays back, keeps the barrel. But let's take a look at some of the damage that we've seen from Owen Casey so far this spring. But good balance, good head position, hard hit balls. There's a balanced approach going the other way. Gets it over to the left field wall right here. Oppo Taco, we call that, Cole. But
yes, sir.
Yeah, he's having a great spring, and that's probably his, I think, 10th hit of spring, probably one of the league leaders.
That was well struck, the one he had.
Let's take a look at it again.
Ago. So even though it's Tuesdays, no Oppo on this one.
middle. I mean, the ball leaked back over the middle of the plate, but didn't pull off it. Kept his head still. Squared it up.
So Sauer. 13 pitches so far in this outing. Just a little bit rattled. 2-0 count after starting the first 2 hitters of the inning off 0-2.
I just missed that.
Yes. So now they're trying to stay on that one, and that's really all you can do. Tied for 3rd among Cubs minor leaguers. Slugging percentage 7th, tied for 5th. That's a season ago. And when you're inside the top 5 and the top 10 in a litany of offensive categories, your trajectory, it's on the up and up.
Yeah, he just missed that. The sound was good. It was on the barrel. He got that call earlier in this inning right there. But nice job to lay off it. That's a pitch that's hard to handle. Gets himself into a 3-1 hitters friendly count.
(3-1), top of the 9th, 2 outs here. It's ball 4. That one could have gone either way. Like you said all evening long, tickling the bottom of the zone there, Marsh. And apparently,
hey, we've seen it before.
More. Absolutely.
We've seen this resilient Cubs team where we're getting ready to start our post-game show sometimes, Cole.
Uh-oh.
And all of a sudden they start chipping away. Good at bat. Base runners.
That's right.
Little bloop, little blast, tie it up. So you never know. But over the past few years, we've seen the Cubs grind out at bats late in the game. That's kind of one of their motives is never give up. Keep having grindy bulldog at bats, and sometimes you never know what's going to happen.
And as cliche as it is, this is the one game where it is not over until it's over. If you're down by 4 touchdowns and there's 30 seconds left in the NFL game, you can chalk that one up as a loss. If you have a 25-point deficit with 6 ticks to go in a basketball game, you are cooked. But in baseball, you could be down by 4, top of the 9th, 2 outs, and you can keep the chain moving, Marsh.
Yeah, no doubt. That's why I love baseball so much, man. You really never know what you're going to get.
Preaching to the choir here.
You know, it's the unpredictability, the excitement it can bring. I mean, they have a game where the Cubs have really just been outmatched, but you know, you're one swing away making it 4-3. You know, another swing away from making it 4-4. You never know.
In baseball, much like life, even when the chips are down, it teaches you to just keep on going.
Yeah,
you could be at a 4-0 deficit. Who knows? But if you keep it up and keep things going, sound like a coaching mantra here, doesn't it? All you kids out there, but it's true. Brett Bateman looking to keep this one alive. Just like that, pass ball. Runners move up, so runners in scoring position for Brett Bateman. 2-2 count with 2 outs, top of the 9th, Marshall.
Just kind of yanked it. You know, the front side pulls open, yanks the ball down. A tough ball to handle, but I mean, 2nd and 3rd, he's 1 pitch away from ending the game, but I like how the Cubs are putting up a good fight.
Yeah, but it also stems that one knee approach with runners on base. You see a lot of catchers going to that method this day and age, and you're seeing also a lot of pass balls on one knee. Once again, that one ricochets away. However, 3rd strike of the at-bat. That is the 3rd out of the inning. And this one looks to be a final. The Kansas City Royals, they do a number on the Chicago Cubs, 4-0 in the final strike of the game. Let's revisit that one. Brett Bateman not able to pull the trigger, and that one called strike. And as he scampers down to first base, they take care of the festivities, and just like that, Cubs not able to cross home plate in this one. 4-0, they fall, Marsh.
Yeah, it was a tough loss, but you look at the bright spots, especially this early in spring training. I thought some of the bright spots was the pitching. Unfortunately, Caleb Killian leaves his start with some type of injury. We'll find out more here soon, but he was really, really good in his couple innings of work. And then Scalzo comes in a pinch, does a really nice job. Ben Brown was outstanding. The big guy Luke Little was good. Mick Williams was also outstanding. We saw good defense from Matt Shaw. Owen Casey with the late swing, keeping a hot bat going. But you always pull from the positives. You learn from the mistakes in the game, some of the defensive mistakes, communication mistakes. But overall, things to continue to work on. But pitching was good on both sides, and you tip your cap to good pitching in the Royals through a nice ball game as a whole.
32 spring training games. This was the 12th installment. It is in the books, and it results in a Cubs defeat courtesy of the Kansas City Royals. So for Sean Marshall, Elise Menaker, and our entire crew, I'm Cole Wright. Thanks as always for watching Chicago Cubs spring training baseball right here on Marquee Sports Network. 4-0, your final tally from Surprise, Arizona. Be sure to join us tomorrow at 2 o'clock.